One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today. Good morning. All right, I'm coming from the city, going back to the county, and already it's really hot, so I had to put my phone in front of my vent to make sure my phone doesn't overheat. And I have been really riled up all morning, talking to a bunch of different people about a bunch of different things. And I wanted to come on and just share this with you all. And what I love about my friend group and what I love about the people, my colleagues, and just the people that are in my circle, what I love about them is we are very solution oriented. Like, we're not ones to just moan and groan about the problems. We're very solution oriented. And I believe that we're a part of the solution. Like, the people in my circle are actively like working on being a part of the solution. So I love that. I love that for me, like, is I'm surrounded by people who are a part of the solution and they're actively like being a part of the solution. However, that friend group, that colleague group, that acquaintance group is still pretty small, and it gets really frustrating. It gets really frustrating to be in a group of people that get it, to be in a group of people, of like-minded thinking people and people that get it, but to live in a world where most people don't get it. Like, that is incredibly frustrating. And understand this. A lot of people in this world, they desire to fit in. I do not desire to fit in. Okay? That's not how I'm wired. As an INFJ, as an Aquarian woman, as a Sigma female, like, I'm throwing out all these labels, all these names, they do fit me. Okay? I do not fit in. I do not want to fit in. Okay, I've made that very clear about me and my platform. It is not about conformity. Okay, it is not about doing what everybody else is doing. It's actually quite the opposite. So you see the fact that I don't have false lashes. You see the fact that I ain't got hair weaved all down my back. You see the fact that I don't have fake nails. You see the fact that I don't have no big, gigantic behind. I don't have no big yitties. Okay. What else? What else are women doing? I don't have no plumped up lips. Other than a little touch of Botox. So I get a little touch of Botox right in here. Right in here. Right in there. Because I tend to scowl. And I don't like that. I don't want people to think as I'm listening to them that I'm judging or disapproving them. So I get a little touch of Botox right in this area. Outside of that, what you see is what you get. You see clean living. You see water drinking and drinking my little hydration drinks in the morning. You see the occasional cup of coffee or tea. You see someone who's primarily like keto or carnivore diet. You see someone that, loves the Lord, loves God, and wants to make him proud and despises hypocrisy. So if it's not something I'm actively speaking out about, it's because either, I don't want to be a hypocrite. And you see a person who, for the most part, loves others, wants the best for others, wants us to all get along, wants family to return, wants values and morals to return or to get stronger, wants faith to return. Like, this is it. That's all I got, is the genuine, authentic me. And you either rock with it or you don't. That's it. That's all I got. And so Today, I want to talk a little bit about empathy and acceptance. These two things are part of the solution. Let me give you an example. So I posted a video and it was all about two white guys on a podcast. And the one was saying, yeah, man, like I'm hearing some horror stories about women on dating apps. I'm hearing some horror stories about, women on these apps and the way men are talking to them and approaching them and just treating them. And it's like crazy. Like, are women safe? What's going on? And so they're having this conversation. So if you haven't checked that out, please do, because I noticed the algorithm, and I'm over the algorithm. Like I'm over the algorithm, and I'm actually working with someone right now to get some sort of other platform going. That's actually something I'm working on right now. It's getting a platform going. It will be monetized, but number one, I can talk exactly like I want to talk. I can say exactly what I want to say. I can do exactly what I want to do. And two, it's also to build a community. It's to build a community of like-minded people who want to be the change that they want to see. So that's probably not going to come till later in the year, but it is something that in the last month, I've really started to think more about. Like, I love my YouTube channel. I love my YouTube community. But if I'm being honest, like, it's still too many trolls. There's too many people over there that, don't get it. And yet they keep coming on my platform talking crazy. There's people here on Instagram like that I'm like, okay, you don't need to be here. We good. We good. You don't have to do this. But so this video is talking about, are women safe? And the guy was like, yeah, man, I've heard some crazy stories too. And it's really sad that, men act so out of pocket. And again, it's not all men. And common sense should tell you that. When someone says something like that, clearly they don't mean all men. That's just like me saying men are tall, right? Men are tall. And somebody's going to come on here. Well, I got a sister that's 6'2". I got a brother that's 5'8". Clearly, I did not mean all men are tall. That's where the critical thinking comes in, people. But on average, men tend to be taller than women. Okay, that's it. Men tend to be stronger than women, physically, upper body stronger. But again, I don't know why you want to fight me on this. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. But anyway, and so there's always somebody, right? There's always somebody that's going to come in the comments. Oh, this is what they wanted. That's what they get. And this is what y'all wanted. Y'all don't need men, or y'all don't. What? This is really bad. So earlier in the year, there was a young black girl who met a white gentleman on a dating app. And, she went out with him, or went to his house, and he unalived her, okay, and dismembered her. And they found parts of her body all over the city. And there were comments, under this news story. Well, that's what she get. That's what she get for dating somebody white. That's what she get for going over there on the date, that meeting weird men on the dating app. That's what she get for going over there. That's what? That's your first response to that story? That's your first response? This is actively happening right now. There is a genuine lack of empathy. I've seen it the other way. Let's talk about the women way. I've seen it the other way, so we're not even going to pick on men. I've told women, hey, there's some really disturbing statistics about men right now. Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide. Men are, there's a huge gender gap in favor of women, that men are less educated than women. Like, I've just shared some statistics on men. Don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody care about them. Oh, well, that's on them. They need, I don't know what that has to do with me. That's your response? Do you have a daddy? Do you have a son? Do you have an uncle that you love? Do you have a grandfather? Do you have a man that you love, a boyfriend or a husband? That should affect us all. That's a problem. A rise in male suicidality is a problem. Okay? And a non-empathetic response like that is also a problem. That's very problematic. So we're seeing it across both genders. We're seeing it across both sexes. The women, they love telling stories and narratives, especially the liberal feminist women. And you can take that how you will. The women who actually believe that because a man has a penis, that innately makes him dangerous. Okay. All right. Like, that is the level of demonization that we're seeing. We're also seeing it on the other side. Like I said, I am a both and type of person. It's not either or. It is both and. I see it both sides of the fence. You got men saying, oh, well, women and their craziness, and when they're on their cycle, they do crazy things, they unalive people and all of this stuff, and women are crazy, I see it on both sides. And I just say, where's the empathy? Where's the understanding for one another? What is happening to us? Why are we in this state of, there's a complete lack of compassion? There's a complete lack of care or understanding. How did we get to this place? And then people are going to jump in the comments and they're going to blame feminism. They're going to blame the patriarchy and misogyny and all these other words and the red pill, right? The sexual evolution and the pill and abortion. You're just going to blame. But what can you do? What can you do right now to develop more empathy for your fellow man, for your fellow woman? What can you do right now about that? That is really the biggest question. So 2 things are necessary for us to solve this problem that we find ourselves in. This gender war, this low birth rate, low marriage rate. We need empathy. We need empathy for one another. We need to adopt a both and perspective. 2 things can be true at the same time. You ready? Number 1, that young woman should not have gone over to that man's house that she didn't know. She should not have met a man on a dating app and gone to his home. And number 2, that man shouldn't have killed that woman. See? See how that works? Both of those things are true. Both of those things could have saved that woman's life. Her not going to his place, him not killing her. But for some reason, we're living in this land of black and white thinking. It's all the men and their fault. It's all the women and their fault. And neither one of those things is actually true, because it's both. We are seeing it on both sides. We're seeing a level of hate on both sides. We're seeing a level of misunderstanding on both sides. We're seeing a level of lack of empathy on both sides. Okay? Lastly, there has to be a measure of acceptance. And acceptance looks like we are different. One is not better than the other. I look at a menu full of food. I look at steak. I look at seafood. I look at chicken. I look at pork. I look at veal. All of them are equally amazing. All of them look fantastic. There may be someone perhaps who's vegetarian. There may be someone who's pescatarian. There may be a carnivore in the house like myself. And we will all choose a different meal off of that menu. And one is not better than the other. It's just different. And we clearly have different tastes. We have different nutritional needs. But there needs to be a level of acceptance for those differences. People who are vegetarian do not eat any meat, or vegan, no meat-made products or animal-made products. Okay. I, being a carnivore, am going to eat meat. And that's that. We are just different. That's what my body needs. And so I'm going to give my body what it needs. That's it. I don't need to demonize vegans or vegetarians, and they don't need to demonize me. Our bodies have different nutritional needs, or my taste is different than their taste, and this is what I'm choosing. This is what works for my body. If that changes, then maybe I'll change. But for right now, that is actually what works really good for my body. We need to see gender differences the same way. Men have some amazing, wonderful qualities. Oh my gosh. I was just telling my guy friend, I said, when I was in college, I would sneak off, spend time with my guy friends. We would go and play golf, and we would go and shoot darts, and we would just do all kind of fun stuff, right? And we would do go-karts and all of that, right? And look, one of my girlfriends, Deidre, she was like, where you been? She found out I was with my friend Troy. She said, where you been? What you and Troy been doing? Y'all talking? I was like, no. I was like, no, Troy is my friend. Well, why you feel like you got to sneak off? Why do you feel like you got to sneak off to hang out with him? Because y'all are going to make it into something when it's nothing. That's the first reason. Y'all love to say I'm dating somebody or seeing somebody or like somebody when that's not the case. He's just my friend. And two, I get sick of y'all. Like, I get sick of y'all. Can I be honest? I get sick of women. Let me be more specific. I get sick of my female friends. This is a true story. We can't go nowhere. We can't go out nowhere without me getting a call first. What you wearing? Send me a picture. What you wearing tonight? What color? No, I don't want to do that. That's the whole conversation. I show up, we have fun, and I leave. And women is all this other stuff that I just don't want to do. So men are great at a lot of things. They're great at thinking logically. They're excellent problem solvers. I find that they're really good at following instructions. Like, they're really good at following instructions. And all right, I'm back. I'm sorry. Like, it's amazing the things that women are capable of, and the sensual, the sexual, the nurturing, the instinct, the intuition, and together we are unstoppable. You get a good man and a good woman together, we are unstoppable. There is no stopping us. There's nothing we cannot do. But guess what has to happen in order to do that? There has to be a level of acceptance. You have to accept the man and his innate gifts, and the man has to accept the woman and her innate gifts. And I don't see enough of that happening. I see a lot of demonization. And, because you're a feeler, you're wrong. Because you're a thinker, you're wrong. No, that's a superpower. And you got a superpower. And together, it creates great balance. But I see a lot of demonization. A lot of, you being that way is wrong or bad. That's that black and white thinking entering again. Here we go with that black and white thinking. Oh, okay. She said the video paused when you were talking about your girlfriends and what you're wearing. Yeah, I just get tired of that. I do. Like I said, I am what's called a very balanced woman. I'm very balanced in my energy. I am part masculine and part feminine. I am all feminine when I'm in a relationship with a man. When I'm in a relationship with a man, I fall completely over into that feminine realm. And then I use my balanced nature when I go out into the world. When I'm not with him, I am balanced. When I'm with him, I'm the girl. I'm the receiver. Okay, I'm the ravishee all day. But yeah, women, y'all get on my nerves. If I'm being honest. I don't know if that's that masculine side of me. It just gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves to listen to them talk and talk. It gets on my nerves for them to, what you wearing and what we doing? And I just like, whereas dudes, it's not even a thought in their head. They want to hang out, they just hang out. It's not a whole lot of planning. They just do it. So there has to be a level of acceptance between men and women. One thing I was telling my friend today, she said, so you don't like when your friends ask you what you're wearing? No, I really don't. I really don't. Because in my head, it's like, why does it matter? Like, why does it matter? That's a female thing. But I get it that a lot of women do that. But it don't matter to me. Like, if we're all going out to the frat party, that's how I used to be in college. Oh yeah, we're going to the Kappa party tonight. Great, bet. We figure out who the designated driver is, and then we out. Like, why do we need to go back and forth about our outfit? Why do we need to go back and forth about all these things that to me don't matter? But women need to do that, And then they need to talk about people. That's the other thing. They need to talk about people. Who all gonna be there? Who they looking forward to seeing? Who they ain't trying to see? like that's women. Oh, she said sometimes I don't like it either. Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But that's, like I said, that masculine side of myself. I don't understand it. But that's just me. But we have to accept each other. We have to figure out how to accept each other. We have to stop demonizing each other. That is a huge problem, in my opinion. And so between that and the lack of empathy for one another, that's what's going to do us in. The fact that we don't have basic empathy for each other as people, that's really, really problematic, right? The fact that a man, can hear about a woman being assaulted, right? And that woman saying something like, well, there were other men there and those men didn't step up to protect me. If a man responds to that with hate, if he responds to that with a lack of empathy or compassion, that's not a man I want anywhere near me. It's just not. That's a dangerous man. Oh, well, these feminists, they want to be out here. They want to be on their own. They don't need men. So now you've lost your heart. You've lost your capacity to care about another human being. That's what you're saying. That if another human being is in trouble, that you've just lost your capacity to care about that. And this is what's so disturbing. Like I said, to the men, you have a mother, you have a sister, you have a daughter, you have an aunt, you have a grandmother, you have some woman that you care about. And yet you're talking like this about other women. It doesn't make sense. I care about the suicide statistic because I have a son. I have a young 21-year-old black son, quite handsome, quite beautiful. And he has suffered with, isolating, loneliness, and 16 years old, was watching porn. Yeah, all the things, all the statistical things that the guy talked about in his talk. Yeah, my son touched on them. The mental health, not having good friends. That's important to me. That matters to me. And it should matter to every woman listening to this. Okay? And this is where people's trauma plays a part. So if a woman has been abused by a man, if she's been, sexually assaulted by a man, if she's been hurt by a man, that's where the trauma comes in. The trauma says not to care about men, not to have any empathy towards men, don't care about men. I'm just shut down from the whole man conversation. That's what's happening. And the same on the other side of the aisle. If a man has gone through a divorce, if a man has been hurt by a woman, left by a woman, dogged out in the divorce process by a woman, or had his children taken away, and his heart has grown cold and he is bitter, he has now lost all empathy for women. He has lost all empathy and compassion for women. And I'm going to be honest, those men are dangerous. Y'all are dating those men. You are dating these red pill guys. You are dating these men who've been through a divorce, have done no work to heal their heart, have done no work to make sense of what happened, have done no work to determine what their part in it was. And these men are actively out here on dating apps. They are actively out here trying to date other women. And yet you lack empathy and compassion for women. Make it make sense. Let's go to the other side of the aisle. You ready? There are women who are doing the same. You've been hurt by a man. You've been disappointed by a man. You've been let down by a man. And you're out here on dating apps trying to actively date men. trying to, have casual hookups or date men or whatever y'all are doing now. I don't even know what women today are doing. I really don't. I don't understand it. It's all foreign to me. And trust me, that trauma, that energy, it leads the exchange. And then guess what? Those people get together and that energy exchange is chaos. Pure chaos. Guess what happens? Their confirmation bias gets met. So the woman meets a man who's abusive, who's neglectful, who's letting her down, who's not showing up. The man meets a woman who's, oh, she's crazy. She's going to leave. She could take all my stuff. I don't trust her. Like, your confirmation bias is being met by each other. You are getting exactly what you believe you're going to get. And until the healing work comes in, until you're willing to do that healing work and say, okay, I've got to learn how to love men again. I've got to learn how to have compassion for women again. Mel from the ATL says, yes, all those men wanted sex, especially the hurt, divorced older men. Precisely. That's why y'all need to leave dating apps alone. I'm going to post 2 videos today. And one of them, I can't remember the gentleman's name. Lovely gentleman. He's a therapist. He's a doctor. And I mean, he broke it down so beautifully. He broke it down so beautifully why we need to leave dating apps alone. I was like, finally, someone else who gets it. So I'm going to post that later on my Instagram, because this will go on YouTube and everybody's like, I don't see the video because it's on my Instagram. And the second one is a young lady who talked all about mindset. She talked about the importance of having an abundance mindset and a good, healthy self-concept. So I'm going to post hers also because it's really, really great. And she talks about how she, it's like, I don't need dating apps. I don't need dating apps to meet a fantastic man. My mindset is doing the work. And I agree with that. That's what I tell women all the time, that mindset. So who should we date? The younger men. You should just date a good man. And I don't care if that man is older, younger. I don't care what color he is. I don't care what religion he is. I don't care. I just want you to date a really great man. And I've made multiple videos on what that looks like. And I've written a book about it. Women suck at choosing. Women know how to love. They just don't know who to love. That's what gets them every time. They give all their good loving and all their good caring and all their good nurturing to the wrong person. Every time. I have. I'm not excluded from that group. I've told y'all that many times. I can't tell y'all how many men that I have given all my amazingness to that did not deserve it. So now I'm just keeping all the amazingness to myself because that's who I know deserve it. All this self-care Sunday, all these trips, all these good meals, all these good things that I deserve it. Anita's giving it to Anita now. Like, okay, we good. Choose well. 95% of men, how many times have I said this statistic? 95% of men on dating apps are not viable. They're not viable partners for women. And I'm about to make a bold statement again. 95% of women on dating apps are not viable. If you want me to be honest, I don't think men should be on there either. Like I told you, my friend John that I had a conversation with, it's actually on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in hearing my conversation with my guy friend, go to my YouTube channel, put in Better Love Movement. And there is a conversation there that he and I had driving back from the Blue Ridge Tunnel. We went hiking. And listen to that conversation. I went on his dating app. I swiped 100 women. This is the truth, y'all. I swiped 100 women. He said, hey, if there's any women on there that you think are a good fit for me or that, I would be interested in, and I showed him before I did it. He said, you go ahead and message them. I swiped on 100 women. I messaged 2. 2 out of 100. 2 out of 100. Do I need to repeat that? The men are not faring any better. It's people, y'all. It's a lack of empathy. It's a lack of understanding. It's a lack of acceptance. It's trauma. It's abuse. It's brokenness. It's woundedness. It's, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to sit still and figure me out and actually go somewhere and do the work. It's all of that. And people just, oh, that situation didn't work. Back on the dating app. Oh, that situation didn't work. Back on the dating app. Oh, that situation didn't work. Back out here in the streets. Like that's what people do. People don't pause. People don't sit with themselves. They don't like themselves. People don't like themselves. So why would they be alone for any period of time? I don't like me. I don't love me. I don't trust me. They abandon themselves. What you think they're going to do to you? Anyway, let's see. I got a comment. Okay, Fried5670 says all valid points. Dating apps are dangerous. Fact, laws are designed far too in favor of women, and that contributes to so much separation of the sexes. Agreed. They usually pass over the great men for the other men who are not worthy. Agreed. Women do not know how to choose good men. I follow Yancy, and she found love from the dating app. Yancy is in the 3%. So if you believe you're in the 3%, have at it. But that's your ego. Your ego would have you believe that you special. And y'all really gonna hate this. Your ego would have you believe that you're different, that you're special. When statistics have already shown us that, the bell curve, this? So the bell curve go like this. You see this part right here in the middle? That's where most of us are. Most of us are in the middle of the bell curve. This out here is called outliers. Everything out on the tail ends is called an outlier. Most of us are not that. Very few people are an outlier. Most of them are right in here. So that's the problem. Your ego has you thinking that you're different and you're special when you're really not. That's why people keep talking about individual and the individualism. No, you really, no, you pretty much like other people. No, that's a hard thing to swallow, right? You're pretty much like other people. Women are pretty much like other women. Men are pretty much like other men. That's a really hard pill for us to swallow. Our ego does not want to believe that. He says, I agree. Thank you. This is true. Yes, lack of empathy. We need to help each other. We need Bible study everywhere. Agreed. Bible study everywhere, schools, etc. Agreed. See? We're living in a godless world. What God says is our priority is no longer our priority. Like God put your purpose in you. He downloaded your purpose in you. He downloaded the reason for you being here. But nobody's paying attention. Nobody's listening. Nobody's checking that file. I checked that file at 9 years old. God told me at 9 years old. So Anita, you're going to do this. And then 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 you're going to do this. Right? The only shocker, I'm going to be honest, being on Instagram, being on YouTube, like, I didn't get that. I didn't get that download. So everything else I've done in life, God has told me I was going to do. The one thing that shocked me was doing this. Doing this is like, what? Like, it's blowing me out the water. Like, who would have thought? And look, at this age, if God would have said at 56, you're going to be talking to people all over the world. You're going to have a platform and you're going to make videos and you're going to, no, not me. And not at that age. No, I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to be sitting down somewhere. I could see myself writing a book, right? So that's why I did it. I could see myself writing some books. I could see myself speaking, right? I got more speaking engagements coming up. I'm excited about that. But doing this, I didn't see this coming, y'all. I really didn't. I did not see this coming. So every now and again, there is a pleasant surprise out there for you. God has pleasantly surprised me by doing this because I did not see this coming. I didn't. I did not. Yeah, the godly way is the only way. I agree. Kevin Samuels said it best. Most of us are average. I agree. Look, I made two of my guy friends really mad because they were like, we were talking about the whole rating system, right? And they were like, well, Nita, what would you give yourself? I said, I'm a good 6. And they were like, what? What? I said, I'm a good 6. And they were like, Anita. I was like, what? What? I'm about a 6. Okay? I'm about a 6. And honest, if I'm being honest, I can't go below a 6. I can't go below a 6 now. I can't. But I'm about a 6. So, but they got mad. People search everywhere except themselves and reading the Bible. Precisely. Oh, it's been pausing a lot. Okay, I'm so sorry. Except themselves. I know you said not to dating apps, but I follow Yancey and she found love on a dating app. Yeah, you can give it a try. But here's the reality of the situation. You've got, what are your results? Like, that's it. Common sense says, okay, somebody else found love on a dating app. I'm going to give a dating app a try. And I actually did. I actually was on dating apps for 2 years when I was conducting research. And guess what? My results did not find my husband. My results got me 2 male friendships. That's what I got on a dating app. I got 2 male friendships. I got a whole lot of ghosting. I got a whole lot of lies. I got a sprinkle of married men or I'm already in a relationship. I got a whole lot I want to smash. Just like that's common sense, right? You do your own research. You do your own, you do your own. And tell me what results you're getting. That's it. Stop looking at someone else and just tell me what results you're getting. And yeah, for 2 years, that's what I got. And I got 2 guys that I'm still friends with to this day that are now dating other people, right? And they're perfectly happy. They're dating other people and we're still friends. That's it. That's what I got out of 2 years of dating apps. Went over 100 dates. So I believe in results. And I did not get the result that I wanted. So I'm not going to do that again. Remember, I'm a scientist at heart. That's how my mind works. I am a scientist at heart. So it's not about feelings. It's about facts. It's about data. And the data, the math ain't mathing. So that's it. He says, God is shifting our for good. Even if it does not seem that way, people are begging for what is real. I agree. I think we're going to have a wake up. She said, you're absolutely right. I didn't have any luck either on the dating app. Then that's the answer. That's the answer. And we don't want to receive or accept the answer, but that's the answer. All right, y'all, I got to go in here to my appointment. I was sitting outside. Oh, Isaac said, I'm a 10. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Dating apps do not work. I get more wanting sex and none wanting a relationship or family right now. Yeah, even the men. That's a man. That's a man that made that comment. Even the men tell me that. They're like, Anita, these women just want to smash. I'm like, what? They be, what? Like, I want to say they wrong, but they not. Y'all not wrong. Y'all telling me the truth because I've heard too many men say it. Lord, it's wild. It's wild out here. So we need empathy. We need acceptance. Here's the thing that is concerning me, though, is I've been talking to a lot of people about empathy, and I keep asking the question, is it something that we can teach? Like, is it something that we can teach? Is it something that we can practice or adopt? That's kind of, I know it's the solution, but my concern, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get my bag. My concern is, like, how do we get it? How do we teach it to people? That's the thing. And the same with acceptance. Is it something that we can teach people? I just don't know. That's what's concerning me. But we need both. And we need to dialectically think. We need to have a both and mindset. We need to stop, going against each other and stop, it's got to be either the men's fault, the women's fault. No, it's people. It's everybody. It's godlessness. It's a non-empathetic, non-caring stance. It's a degenerate world we live in. And that's regardless of the gender. Okay? All right, last comments. Yeah, he said, yes, there are women that just want to get laid, yo. Oh, my God. It's not good for sexual health to have multiple partners who prefer unprotected sex. No, it's not. It's not good for your soul. Empathy can be taught, but it starts at home or constant repetitiveness from other channels. Okay, that's good to know because I'm telling you, I'm just concerned, y'all. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. He said godlessness. Yeah, that's a big one. Okay, I got a question and then I'm running in. Oh, no, he said you are a 10. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate that. I consider myself a strong 6. My cooking is a 10. My massages is a 10. Okay. I have some things in my arsenal that are a 10. But it's just if I'm boiling it down, I'm a 6. Okay. So that's it. Most of us are in that bell curve. Most of us are not special. We're not unicorns. That's it. He said, I think if multiple people created a godly channel, that would help reinforce from different sources. Well, I do have other content creator friends that are doing just that. I have men and I have women. So let's hope they gain traction. That is I'm glad you said that. I'm actually going to thank you. I'm going to go to their page and I'm going to see how many followers they have. That's actually a really good idea. Thank you. I'm going to go to all of my content creator friends who are Christians, and they make content. They make good content. Some of them are married. Some of them are engaged. Some of them are single like me, but we all kind of make similar content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go today on all of their platforms, and I'm going to write down how many followers they have and see collectively like how many people we are touching. Because, yeah, we need to do something. He says, we will win and change society. Thank you. We gotta. And as I always tell people, God has predicted all of this, right? God has prophesied all of this. He told us that all of this would happen. But this what y'all got to remember. He also told us how this was going to end. Don't forget that part. God has already told you how this is going to all work out. Don't forget that now. God done already said how this is going to go down. So be wise. He said, I'm praying to God, please change our society and quicken the minds of people who need to learn. Yeah. Because we stepped away from God, we get this society. Exactly. So I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to be praying right along with y'all. All right, I got to jump out. Thank you so much for joining the live this morning. If you would like to see this video in its entirety, if you came in on the end, I want you to head over to YouTube. That's the only place you can see this video in its entirety is on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.